Hey everybody. So I recently decided to pick up the Star Wars books because I just have never read them, and I was curious as to how they were. So, read Convergence, the first one that's in the new canon for the people older than me, which, quite frankly, is a lot. Either way, I'm 21. Let's just put that for perspective, people. What's considered new canon is the canon that I have basically grew up on. Now, Convergence, it's a great book, well written. However, I can see why it wouldn't work as a movie. And the reason why I say that, it's not as in like the writing's bad or anything like that. It's a great book, written excellent, very well. But the reason I don't think it'd work as a movie is because it does the classical Star Wars thing where it switches perspectives so much. And now I know that might seem weird to say that won't work as a movie like that. However, I say it won't work like the way it does is because of how many perspective changes there are. Throughout the entire book, there's a perspective change at least 3 times within one chapter. In the first 5 or 6 chapters alone, you switch perspectives between 3 separate characters at least one time throughout the entire first 5 or 6 chapters. After that, it sort of mellows out a little bit, mainly going from the first 3 characters were introduced to the Jedi Gala, the prince, the princess. Those 3 end up meeting and they're together. Then it gets introduced to the fourth main character, switching to his perspective and their perspective, along with throwing in the enemy group that is trying to usurp the peace that the prince and princess are trying to create. Now, this whole thing switches perspective a lot, and it definitely switches perspective between the planets that they are trying to barter peace between. It's well written, it's really good, but because of that giant perspective switch that happens so often, as a movie perspective, I don't think it would work. Keep in mind, I'm not a film student. This is purely just me giving my honest opinion based on what I know about Star Wars and this book. But that perspective swap, I don't think it would work. For a movie, TV show, maybe.